Hey guys, it's Cree. Welcome back to the right side of 50. Trying to do my regular weekend running. Just wanted a real quick, I wanted to continue the conversation. If you keyed into the last video, I was talking about perimenopause. So I touched on some of the most common symptoms, such as hair thinning, hair loss. I didn't talk so much about bones, but it does affect your bones. Your muscle, definitely. I mentioned that it does affect your muscle. You can have muscle loss. You will. And then facial features, the suppleness of your skin, mainly your face. I was talking a little bit about. I was just saying how you can, with excellent health, great health, everything's great, but you still will, just because that's the age process, you will lose some of that nice 20-something-year-old supple fat that's in your face. Even as a small person, if you're small, you still have that suppleness. So that's the reason why a lot of the not even just celebrities these days, everybody, just about everybody, or many of people who are, really big on that, they get the injections. The lip injections is one thing, but I'm talking about the injections around their fine areas where they find some loss, where it's not as supple, or the eyes, under the eyes, in the cheek area, things like that. So that's the reason why people do that. Okay. Perimenopausal women they can go through acne as well. They can go through dryness of the skin, your overall skin, even itching and things like that. I kind of mentioned, sometimes in the middle of the night I'll wake up and I start scratching, at my arms and things like that. I don't normally scratch myself to where I draw blood or anything like that, but some nights are like that. Now, I haven't pinpointed if it's just those nights where I experience the night sweats, because I do get those sometimes, you guys. I sleep in breathable stuff, okay? So I'm not overwhelmed with thick pajamas and stuff like that. I wear very light clothing, okay? So and breathable clothing at that. I could just be middle of the night, wake up, and my night gear is soaked or just really moist, and I'm like, what the heck, and I'm feeling, and I'm going, okay, and I'm usually hot at that point, sometimes cold, because depending if the air is on or not, and or the fan is blowing on me, and if I'm wet or not. So I've experienced the night sweats. They don't particularly bother me, but I do play that blanket game. The blanket game, for women who are already going through it, they already know what I'm talking about. 1 minute you need the blanket off, the next minute you need it on. It doesn't matter if it's winter or summer. You just, depending, because with me, okay, so I'm in Phoenix, Arizona, for the ones who remember. It's usually never particularly cold out here, but right now, let's just talk right now. Okay, so we're in April. Usually the weather, it starts warming up a bit come March, but we're not in the hundreds yet, but we're in the 90s for the most part. So here we are, we're in third week of April, I think. Yeah, I'm sorry, we're almost in the end of April, but third week of April, or going into the fourth week. And I turn the air on at night, okay? So it's not really hot in the day, in the home, because it's in a shaded area. But at night, I like it cool. So with that being said, I turn the air on at night. And I usually set it to anywhere between 72 and 74 degrees. It just depends. And then I have a ceiling fan over my bed, at the lower part. So I will go ahead, I will play that, or run that, not play that. I will run that so I can, keep cool in the middle of the night. Even with that being the case, with the air on, so I'll still go through night sweats sometimes, okay? So battling of the wetness there, yeah, that's an inconvenience, but because now you got to get up and you got to change your night shirt or whatever, so that you can go back to sleep comfortably. Okay, so I'm going through that right now. The brain fog, it's been there for some time. I've seen other differences with like my skin, like I said, the dryness with the itchiness. All these are things that you can start taking your, like, a hormonal therapy type of deal. You'd have to make an appointment with your gynecologist and talk to them to see if you need some type of estrogen therapy, hormonal therapy. When your estrogen drops, it affects a lot of things, okay? Even the joint pain. I mentioned in the last video, I was going to talk about that real quick. So we have our aches and pains as we get older. But what I've really noticed in the last couple of months, I have noticed, like, been drawn the attention of my hips mainly. Hips to the point to when I get out of bed, you guys, I get out of bed, I can feel the pain, and I have to force myself to rise up, okay? Now, I have longer legs. The height of the bed is, it's appropriate as far as I feel, but maybe a little bit lower than the way I would have it. But even so, I didn't experience that before. I could just get right out of bed, no problem. Now, my body's got to think about it. It's got to say, well, wait a minute, hold up, sister. Hold up, you're going too fast. That's what my body is saying these days, okay? So I'm finding myself having issues there. Like I said, it's just the will that I got to get out of bed. I got to go to the washroom. I got to take care of some things. I mean, there is no, not today. I have to get up and get out of bed. Okay. I'm not in any type of, assisted living or any place where I need someone to assist me. And we're not trying to go down that road either. So I've had aches and pains before, but again, doctors, sometimes you're so oblivious of what's going on with your own body, and they had to remind me, well, okay, let's look at your age and let's talk about your hormones. Well, there you go. It was just a reminder, because I've heard of all of this. So what also is key with your joint pain, don't dismiss the fact that you have to maintain a particular diet too. So there are foods that are considered inflammatory foods. You can't necessarily eat everything, or if you do, you have to be very mindful. It's just like people who have gout. They should follow a certain diet so that they don't have issues with, their feet when they walk. Your joint pain is the same. Look up online, Google it, chat GBT, whatever, and get a list, you guys. I don't have it with me, of the things that you want to look out for or be aware of, as far as what foods to avoid. Okay. I will probably pull up some examples in my next video. Right now I'm getting ready to run out, but these are things that you don't want to ignore. So you want to talk to your doctor about that as well, and see if they have any good suggestions for that. Because even with the inflammatory thing, I just, for the last 72 hours, I seen my doctor last week, by the way, just to get my physical. So in the last 72 hours, I was just being mindful of what I eat. Like, really, I was, ruling out certain things and playing around with some things. But even with that being said, I did have a noticeable difference in my joint pain. Okay. Weight plays a part too, of course, you guys, because I'm on this journey. Not trying to do anything vast and fast. I'm trying to take my time and do it, at a decent speed, take my time with it. Okay. But I notice. So now I have to start like really making a log of things that I notice as far as my eating. I think I'm gonna create a food diary for that, and you know, do something on that level, okay? Just to help me, you know, may help you guys too as well if you wish to do it. But yeah, so I'm working on that now and some other things. But I think that also would help me with this journey, is just keeping track of what's, you know, what's happening with my diet, so I can really put everything into perspective, because I'm by far an expert, just know that. So anyway, I'm gonna let you guys go. Talk to you, you know, might make a video later, maybe. If not, you know, we will talk again. Consistency wise with YouTube, I am working towards making 2 to 3 videos a week, you know, so that just to kind of build with the consistency. Okay, take care, you guys. Have a great day.